My family spent $12,000 on a birthday party and left my name off the invitation, not out of carelessness. They left it off on purpose. And then they told everyone I wasn't there because I was too busy with work. I'm Nora Callahan, 33 years old, and this is the story of how I stopped waiting for a family that was never going to see me. September 14th has always belonged to me and my younger sister, Jade, born exactly 3 years apart. Sharing a birthday with Jade never meant splitting the spotlight. The theme and guest list were always hers. I was just the older one standing near the cake, silently grateful to be included. When I turned 10, my plea for a space-themed party was shut down immediately so Jade could have her Cinderella moment. When I turned 21, my suggestion to split the day resulted in a deep sigh from my mother, and we spent the evening listening to Jade's playlist at Jade's favorite restaurant. I told myself these things stop mattering when you grow up. They don't. The breaking point hit hard and fast on a Wednesday night in early September. I was scrolling through Instagram when my cousin Paiges Story stopped me cold. It was a photo of an ivory cardstock invitation with gold calligraphy. You are invited to celebrate Jade Marie Callahan's 30th birthday, the Hargrove Estate, September 14th. RSVP to Patricia Callahan. My mother. Her event, one name, Jade Marie Callahan. No, and Nora, no footnote. My chest didn't ache. I just felt a cold, heavy clarity settle over me. Forgetting is accidental. This was a calculated decision. My mother proofread it, approved it, and mailed it. I called her immediately. "Mom, I saw the invitation," I said, cutting off her bright greeting. Silence. Then, "It's Jade's 30th. It's a milestone. It's also my 33rd. Same day it's always been." Her voice shifted. "We can only afford one party, Nora. You understand? You spent $12,000 on a venue. I'm not going to apologize for celebrating my daughter," she snapped, giving that sharp exhale she does when cornered. The line went dead. The next morning, Paige called. "Your mom told the whole family you're not coming because of a work deadline," she whispered. "She told them you sent Jade your love." My mother hadn't just excluded me. She'd manufactured a cheerfully absent version of me to save face. If I stayed quiet, that lie would become the truth. I wasn't the daughter who was left out. I was the daughter who left. I decided right then to stop letting someone else tell my story. I booked the back dining room at Timber and Vine for 15 people on September 28th. For the first time in 33 years, I planned my own birthday. 2 days later, a message appeared in my Instagram requests from Vivian Cross. Vivian had been Jade's best friend for 8 years until Jade abruptly cut her off and my mother blocked her everywhere. "I saw what happened with the invitation," Vivian wrote. "I know what it feels like to be erased by Jade. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." Days later, I ran into an old acquaintance, Holly, who casually mentioned Jade's desk at her prestigious agency had been empty for months. My mother had thrown a $12,000 party for a promotion that didn't exist. I immediately messaged Vivienne to meet. We sat at a quiet cafe out of town. Vivienne ordered black coffee, wrapping her hands around the mug like she was trying to keep warm. She wasn't let go for a simple performance issue, Vivienne said, her voice dropping. She stirred her coffee endlessly, refusing to meet my eyes at first. There was an internal audit 4 months ago. Money was missing from the larger client accounts, exactly $12,000. I stared at her, the math clicking into place in my head with a sickening thud. The venue. "She told our family she got promoted," I managed to say. "I know," Vivian said, her hand trembling slightly as she finally looked up. When they cornered her, Jade panicked. To stop them from calling the police right then and there, she invented a family medical emergency. Vivian's eyes grew heavy with guilt. "She told them you were dying, Nora. She said she took the money to pay for your terminal illness treatments." The air vanished from my lungs. The erasure wasn't just preference, it was a desperate cover-up. Jade didn't just lie to protect her image, she had used my non-existent tragedy to shield herself from prison. September 14th arrived. I ordered Thai food, poured wine, and watched Instagram light up. The fairy lights, the 3-tier cake, the neon Jade's Flirty 30 sign, my mother beaming beside her. Paige texted, "Your mom told everyone you sent your love but couldn't make it." 2 days later, my mother called, floating on leftover champagne. "The party was wonderful, honey. I wish you could have been there." I didn't yell. I didn't cry. "You told people I sent my wishes, Mom," I said. "Well, I assumed you would have." "You assumed wrong," I replied, before hanging up and leaving her with dead silence. I opened my notebook and added Vivian's name to my guest list, September 28th. Timber and Vine was perfect. No neon signs, just mismatched candles, wildflowers, and my closest friends. Paige brought a cake that read, "Just Nora. Finally." 15 glasses rose. Then Vivian stood up, holding her glass with both hands. She looked like someone who'd been holding her breath for 6 months. "I spent 8 years being loyal to someone who dropped me the moment I saw something I wasn't supposed to see," Vivian declared to the room, her voice steadying. "I know what it feels like to be erased by a liar, but Nora is different. She doesn't need to quietly drain client funds to afford a $12,000 venue, and she doesn't need to fake a sister's terminal illness to save herself." The entire table gasped. Phones were already out. The toast was being recorded. "Here's to Nora Callahan," Vivian finished, "a woman who is actually worth celebrating." At 1:45 in the morning, my phone rang. Jade Callahan. "How dare you?" she shrieked, skipping hello completely. "Do you have any idea what she said? Paige posted the whole toast on her story. Everyone in the family has seen it." I sat up in bed, my voice completely level. "She didn't say your name, Jade. Everyone knows it's about me. If that video gets back to the agency, they only agreed to hold off on charges if I paid the money back quietly. If they think I'm out throwing lavish parties with stolen funds." I didn't tag her boss in the video. I didn't need to. The internet has a funny way of making sure secrets find the right people eventually. "Then I guess you'll just have to wait and see who watches it," I said smoothly. The line went ice cold. I could hear her swallow. It was the kind of quiet that lands when a person realizes they no longer control their own survival. The threat of everything collapsing was suddenly very real and completely out of her hands. "Nora, please don't," she whimpered, her voice cracking with pure fear. "Don't what?" I asked softly. "I just had a birthday party. I invited a friend. That friend gave a toast. Good night, Jade." I hung up and set the phone face down. The fallout wasn't an instant explosion. It was a slow, agonizing unraveling. My father showed up at my apartment unannounced a week later. He stood on my doorstep looking exhausted. "I know we haven't been fair to you, sweetheart," he said over coffee. "I let this go on too long because it was easier for me." I let the apology take up space in the room. "I don't need you to fight Mom, Dad. I just needed you to see me." The unexpected call came on a random Wednesday in November. "I owe you an apology, Nora." My mother's voice was stripped of its careful phrasing. She sounded hollowed out. "Jade told me the truth. About the job, the money, what she said about you. The agency is threatening to revoke her repayment deal. I didn't know, Nora." "I know you didn't," I said. "But you chose to make everything about her anyway." She cried quietly. This wasn't theatrical crying. It was the sound of a woman realizing she had backed the wrong daughter for 33 years. "Thank you for saying that," I told her. "It doesn't fix 33 years, but it's a start." I looked at the calendar on my wall. Next September was already laid out. I picked up a pen and wrote on the 14th. My birthday. No shared billing. Just mine. I don't know what happens next with my family. Jade hasn't been officially arrested, but she is desperately liquidating everything she owns to keep the agency quiet, living every day waiting for the other shoe to drop. My mother is trying awkwardly to repair our bond, and my father calls every Thursday. I spent 33 years waiting for a seat at someone else's table, waiting for someone to say I mattered just as much. Turns out I was always allowed to build my own table, and knowing that the people who built theirs on lies are now terrified of it collapsing. That makes the chair at the head of my table fit perfectly.